Okie dokie. Dokie. One two one two one two one ba 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 ba. Alrighty. Morning Schmexy, you got Wordle in 3. Oh, I haven't played it. I haven't played it today. Should we start with Wordle? I got it in 2 yesterday. Proudest day of my life. Really bright, isn't it? Let's think of a word. You've only ever got 2 once? I got 2 yesterday. It was pretty pog. I felt pretty nice about it. Oh, this is so white. My god, it's really bright. Gonna make it a bit smaller. Let's think of a word. Any word. Think of a word. Notes. There's a word. E. We got E. The words start with E. A lot of words start with E. Lots and lots of words start with E. Do many 5-letter words start with E? I was gonna put in exams, but we have the letter S already. Also, an X feels like a bit of a waste. How's your morning going today, Juan? Not too bad. I woke up at 8:30 today. Decided to try and get up a little bit earlier. Quite chill so far. Yeah, I'm gonna play some lo-fi just in the background. Is the lo-fi too quiet, or should I turn it up a little? Or do you think it's just fine? Actually, I stayed over. Oh, nice. Did you go out for dinner last night or anything? Vice perfect volume, I'd say. Nice. I'll leave it here then. Go to McDonald's? Oh yes. I was gonna get McDonald's yesterday, but ended up having Korean chili beef with Jamie, which he made. It was pretty good. So you've done today's word as well. Is Wayne's? They're turning the Wayne's against us. I don't think Wayne's is real though. From the Lemmy show. They're turning the Wayne's against us. He's turning the Wayne's against us. I kind of want to put it in now. But if you put in a wrong, like a non-English word, does it just not work? I kind of want to do that to test. It doesn't work. Wayne's. Oh. It is a real word? Weens? He's turning the weens against us. It worked. Okay, well, we go where the E is. Second letter E. No A. To wean yourself off. But with the S on the end? Weens? Because I know wean is a word like Wean. I didn't think weens or wens. Turning the weens against us. I didn't think that was a word. So we're going for E. Numero dos. No A. Someone who's actively winning. Weens. Yeah, maybe. Maybe you're right. There's no A. I feel like A comes after E quite a lot in words, so that's interesting. Like lead, lean, dean. E. N. I got lucky with my second guess and got the first letter, which helped me get the 3. Ah, nice, nice. I think H is probably a pretty good letter before E is the first. Same with P. Yay. A lot of letters, actually, to be fair. Have E as the second letter, so it's not. It's probably not the best letter for us to get here. Jaggies. Ah, Jaggies. Jeggie. Jaggy. Jaggy Nettles. No N, no N. Keep thinking of words with N, like fiend, but that also has an A in it. No, it doesn't. It has an I. Fiend, F-E-I-N-D. Yeah, but it's got an N. A lot of N's and A's. Thinking of a lot of EA words, which is not ideal. Trying to get that out of my head, like reap. Beans. Need to stop thinking of eens. I find the best way, once you find a word that fits, just go with it immediately. Yeah, that's fair. I keep thinking of words that fit, but they also have like A's and N's in them. Um, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I'm hopefully recording another study video with Finton in a few weeks. It seemed to go down well enough, which is nice. Just look at the letters you have left and come up with words from that. Yeah, that's what I'm currently doing. So like me or G. Yeah. That's what I've been doing. I've been going like but I keep fucking putting in A and N's next after the E. And I'm like, stop. Stop it. And look for words that are EM, ET, etc. But yeah, true. But I've also got rid of T. Oh, I haven't got rid of M actually. That's a good point. Can they be places? Or is it like words that aren't places? Nah, yeah, I didn't think so. Because I could do like ferry, but that's double R, which I think is probably not a great idea. Wait, that's not even how you spell ferry, is it? No, it is. My brain's just not really working. Oh, well, I guess you could do this, and then you can put in 2 letters and then think of how else you could fill it. I guess that's a way to do it too, rather than just like looking at the keyboard, rather than like filling in like this. I think this is probably a better way. Because then you could go merit, but obviously we know T is not a letter. Medic. That's definitely easier. Interesting. So no M, D, I, or C. Honestly, even if it's 2 of the same letters, sometimes it's better getting a word in. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Key. Key. It's quite relaxing playing Wordle. It's like it's funny, but it is just like it's just super casual brain activity. That makes sense. Good morning. Hey, Kembert. Hope today is the day the bankroll goes back above 2,000. I actually don't know if I'm going to play today. I might just fucking grind out some serious study with you guys. We might play as well. But I also might just, like, send. That bankroll needs updated too. I think we're at, like, 1,650 or something. Potentially. I feel like the letters I've got left are a lot of fucking junk. Pube. Relap. Deluxe. Sounds like a word. DTO session with Fintum is a great video. We should be doing another one soon, hopefully, because it was well received enough. I don't know if relux is a word though. I want to use A. I really don't want to use, now that I'm on the 4th one already, I don't want to use another one of the same letter, you know? But it would help because that's just even more like letter removal. Pebble. Peebly. I might just do relay because it's getting rid of a lot of letters. We haven't used U yet, but where does U fit in with an E? Doesn't really. Let's just do relay and see what happens. So R is involved and Y. Interesting. Interesting. So something E, something Y. Something with an E and ends in a Y. E. Peru Y. There's an E R Y. F E R ferry. Nope. And I thought I said ferry earlier, and then it was almost it. It would have helped. I actually was gonna put that in. What the second one was it? Here we go again. Oh, did I say the word? Did I say the word again? You were very close to it. What, when I said Peru Y? Well, that is pretty close because the ERY. You didn't say it? Alright, fair. Because I said ferry, what, second? That would have made my life a lot easier. Gerby. Turkey? Maybe? Not a bad shout. Can't really think of many other words that are ERY. Jerky? Could be jerky. Cold's breath. Turkey, jerky. They're like the two. Turkey, jerky. They're like the only two that I can really see. Turkey and jerky. Let's randomize. So turkey will be like a true poker player. We'll go for perky if it's 1 to 49. And if it's 50 plus, we'll go for jerky. Alright, we're going for jerky. No, it's perky. It is perky. Where? What? Why did it not count the one yesterday? Well, I guess because I did it on my phone yesterday. That's annoying. If I'd done ferry, we would have had a pretty good chance at getting it on 3-4. But instead, we decided to go for Wayne's. I was gonna say it's something you look for in a pair of ditties. That was the first thing that came into my head when I typed in perky. All right, so yesterday on DTO, I did just over 100 hands of 60 big blinds effective. 126 hands of 60 big blinds effective button versus big blinds, and I got 68% GTO, which isn't the worst. Generally want to be above 70% though. I feel like this could probably be zoomed in more for you guys, couldn't it? Probably better. So, does anybody have a spot they want me to go over, first of all? We can do... Generally, I want to stay away from 3-bet pots and ICM and limping strategy at the minute. I just want to go over, like, standard spots at the minute. So, for the most part, like, single raise pots. Probably somewhere medium to deep stack. Otherwise, I'm happy for you guys to pick. If you want me to go over a spot, we can try and learn it together. Nothing? Alright, cool. We'll do 50 big blinds effective. It is a spot that, oh, if Juan thinks of something we can, but I was thinking maybe 50 big blinds and we do like cutoff button or something. Or 60 big blinds cutoff button. Oh, that's when he plays it as a 3-bet pot though. That makes sense. What if I do single raise pot? I can do 45 big blinds button versus cutoff. Oh, I've already played some hands in this apparently. With a pretty poor GTO score. So maybe we go over this. But I would have done this like 2 years ago or whatever when DTO first came out. Yeah, 45 big blinds, cutoff versus button. We'll do this. So first of all, we'll look at the ranges. So it probably makes more sense to do the out of position player first. So the cutoff of 45 big blinds is opening all of your suited aces, all of your suited kings, all of your suited queens down to queen 4 suited, all of your suited jacks down to jack 6 suited, and they're like mixing jack 5 suited, probably depending on who's in the big blind and stuff. We've got 10-9, 10-8, 10-7, 10-6, which is a little bit looser than I'd be going. Generally, from the cutoff, I'm probably opening all my suited aces, king 4 suited plus, and queen 6 suited plus, jack 7 suited plus. 10-7 suited I probably am opening, to be fair. Probably not going as low as 9-6, but it is going 9-6, 8-5, so we just have to remember we do have these hands, a pure weight, 6-4 suited, 6-5 suited, 7-5, 7-6. We have 5-3 suited half the time. We have all the pairs, of course. And then our offsuit combinations is ace-5 off plus, which is also probably what I'm doing here. I might open ace-4 off sometimes. King-9 off plus, which is reasonable. I'd probably open off king-8 here sometimes, which is, I guess, a little bit loose. So we've got, generally we've got a lot of 9x. We've got ace-9, king-9, queen-9, jack-9, 10-9 off. 10-8 off and 9-8 off sometimes, but we can't really rely on these too much. Generally, of course, it's going to be more suited hands than offsuit hands. I think that's a pretty reasonable range from the cutoff. I think that's pretty reasonable. The button then, so the button doesn't have aces, kings, ace-queen suited, ace-king off, kings all the way down to tens, because basically what it's saying is these are 3-betting and 3-bet calling. You have ace-jack suited most of the time, you 3-bet it sometimes. Say Daniel, you have ace-10 suited half the time because you're going to use it as a 3-bet. Ace-4, ace-5 suited are again like the kind of hands that are going to want a 3-bet here. More often than not. We have very little offsuit ace-x on the button here, which does make sense. Primarily, you do want to be 3-betting your offsuited x because it just doesn't play well multi-way, even in position. Because when you call the big blind and small blind, obviously get a better price. They can also squeeze. Interesting that's 100% 3-bet with aces. Yeah, it's just 3-bet getting it in. Aces, kings, 45 big blinds. I think if it's like 60 big blinds, there might be some... Or like 20 big... I just don't know. I always thought about mixing in a call. It's usually player dependent, but I think this is obviously just like pure theory. And so ace queen off, even king queen off, we only have half the time. Queen jack off half the time. Jack 10 off half the time. So we really do not have... Look at that. Look at that offsuit. There is just nothing offsuit here. And even our strongest offsuit hands, we only have half the time. Our range in the button is actually really, really strong. If you look at this, you have all of your pairs, 2s, 3s, 4s, even 6s, 7s, 8s, and 9s. I mean, 9s, I understand that it's half the time you're just going to 3-bet. Half the time you're going to flat. But 8s and 7s and 6s, we don't even have it pure weight. 5-4 suited, 5-6 suited, 7-5, 7-6. King Queen off a raise then? Yeah. Yeah. So, King Queen off. Half the time. Half the time you raise, half the time you flat. That's why it's brown. 10-7 off. 10 or 10-7 suited half the time. But primarily, it's like it's a really tight range here in the button. And if you think about what our range consists of, it's some of the low pairs, pairs up to 9s, mainly up to 8s, suited ace X, suited king X, and our strongest suited queen X. Jack 10 and ace 9 off both raising as well half the time. I think the ace 9 off and the jack 10 off are probably folding half the time rather than raising. I think there is a way to check that though, but I'm not sure. So the cutoffs checked to us on the button here. If we look at king 10 off, it's one of our worst hands with bottom 2. Cutoff has an incredibly wide range here. I mean, they have like queen 4, jack 6. Like, they're always going to have some kind of connectivity to this board, so I don't think we want to bet particularly big. Because if we look at our queen jack, we have queen jack suited and queen jack off half the time. So like we don't actually have that much nuts. I think we bet small. Good. Is it? Oh wow, so it does bet big. All 3 options are fine. Betting small is actually the worst option here. So if we look at what's betting small on this board texture. Whoops. If we look at what's betting small, there really isn't much small betting at all. So ignore the small bet. Basically, this monitor or rainbow board, 3 Broadway cards, we're checking or betting big. We're mainly betting big from the button. And I think it's just because our range has a lot of ace X, which you can see it's betting big. So ace X, with all of our suited ace X with backdoors. Even with hearts, we're still betting big. I guess it's just because it's a good hand. Needs protection. All of our ace X, obviously ace 5 and stuff it's giving us here is 3 bets, so we don't really have it sometimes. I keep accidentally clicking on the pie charts. Queen 6 is betting big, queen 7, queen 8 are all betting big here. I guess that's where our bluffs are coming in from, because we have a gut shot with backdoor flush draws, so we can barrel a lot of turn cards with hands like queen 7, queen 6, queen 8. Same with our jack 8. And then obviously our value, queen jack, is just betting massive. Yo, oh my god, Daniel. Just casually dropping 5 gifted subs? Yo. Thanks, dude. That's sick. Thank you. That was unexpected, to say the least. My boy is ready. Sick. Thanks, bro. You're welcome, pal. Thanks, man. That's really cool of you. That's really cool of you. 2 more to go. All going to regs of the stream as well. Sick. Got my Magnum condoms. I got my Wada hundreds. The casual gifties. 1 more. Uno mas. For big stacks. Sick. Daniel, thank you so much. Likefish, Kendo, Lucid, Lime Ricky, and Big Stacks all picking themselves up a little gifty sub. Wow. Ooh, so our 7-6 and stuff with back doors, like our suited connectors, all the ones that have the back doors here. So you can see that like 7-8 suited, we're just giving up. Like 7-8 suited of hearts. We've got no backdoor flush draw on Ace King 10 with no hearts. But half the time, we are betting these, which is really interesting. Same with our 4-5. Even our 5s is betting big a third, like a quarter of the time. 4s, 3s, and 2s doing the exact same. Probably just to try and fold out like Jack 4, Jack 5, Jack 6 suited that the cutoff has. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a tough spot for me to wrap my head around. Yeah, King 10 just being a big bet from the button here, almost always. I want to check the bots range. The bots is checking 80% here, which makes sense. And they don't have really any big betting. It's primarily checking on this board. But when they do bet, very occasionally with aces, very occasionally with top 2, and then they're sort of like mixing in a couple of bets with similar hands that we're bluffing with, like the queen 8 suited, queen 9 suited, jack 8 suited. Hands that have equity but no showdown value. Very interesting. So much checking though. Like, it's not even wrong to check ace king here. You know what I mean? Like, the hands that aren't really checking, like, you're betting your pairs are pretty much pure weight. Or checking your pairs are pretty much pure weight. Like kings, aces, queens, jacks, tens, checking at pure weight. Like, who's checking bottom set here from the cutoff versus the button? 45 big blinds effective. You know? Like, no one. No one is doing this pure. Wide range versus wide range in DTO is really tough. You think you have a heuristic or a general rule, and then you get a big stinking blunder, says this like McGregor. True. Well, to be fair, the buttons range isn't too wide. We look at the buttons range. It's not massively wide here. 45 big blinds effective in a single raise pot. Just primarily because you don't really have your offsuit stuff. And then you only have, like, your strongest suited stuff. Obviously minus your aces, kings, queens, jacks, tens, ace, king, ace, queen suited. Very interesting. Cool. So we're in the cutoff now. I'm going to take this as a general rule for the last hand. Like, I think if there's boards that we're going to want to be betting from the cutoff versus the button, it's primarily boards that we have a range advantage. And I feel like we do have a range advantage versus the button on ace queen 5 two-tone. But honestly, I don't think there's going to be much of an argument against checking here. Because, like, they don't have ace queen. They do have ace queen off. Almost pure. They obviously have fives. We have fives. I'm going to check. Check back, which is expected. I have no idea if they're supposed to be checking back, like ace jack here. Ace 6, ace 5. I doubt it. They do have ace 6, ace 5 suited. Only half the time, though. I feel like we probably want to bet this turn. We probably want to start betting, probably for value. I think 75% here is better. I don't think we want to block. I'd be very surprised to see an overbet, but I would go for big bet here as well, like just like McGregor. Good, good, good. So, what could we have done better? So, yeah, it's half the time. I did say I think we're probably betting this or checking, but it's also the kind of board where we do have a range advantage, which is why it's betting big. Because we're not betting often, we just don't get the small size. Basically, like a good general rule for c-betting, if you're betting often, you're betting smaller. If you can't bet often, you're betting bigger when you do bet. And then on the turn, after checking all options are fine, we actually check again 44% of the time. I mean, but that's just because our range is so wide. But we're not going to be checking with... Let's see what our big bets are. So our big bets are... It does come from ace 10 suited. It does come from most of our suited ace X. It comes from jack 10. Is it jack 10 with diamonds? Well, that's jack 10 off, but is it with a diamond primarily? It is. So jack 10 with a diamond is primarily betting big on this turn. Just checking all the way through these hands. Our ace 10, though, is still checking a lot. Or overbetting. Wow, so there is actually the overbet coming in here from ace king suited, ace queen suited. But I'm assuming ace king with diamonds. We can't have ace queen with diamonds because obviously ace queen 5 is on the board. Oh my god, Daniel T dropping another 6 gifted. Also, Daniel T bought Pad's course. I've heard a lot of good things. I'm kind of tempted myself. Keep us updated on how it is. But thank you so much for the gifted sub again. Dislike McGregor, welcome to the sub team. Yeah, wow. So there is actually quite a lot of overbetting on this turn. Our two pairs. Top with flush draws. Top 2. Wow. Very cool. Very interesting. Let's continue. So they are going to bet this board a lot. I don't really see much value in raising. Definitely not going to be folding bottom pair with an overcard and a backdoor flush draw. If they turn as an ace, they're going to have like ace king, ace queen, ace jack, ace 10, ace 9, ace 6, ace 5, ace 4, ace 3. Suited and almost all of the offsuit as well. So there's a lot of hands here that we can turn two pairs against when they pick up top pair that they're going to keep barreling. We also have our backdoor flush draw. So it's not like every turn is bad for our hand. So I'm going to call. I still think our hand is too good to fold. They're gonna have 9-10s, they're gonna have 5-6s, they're gonna have Jack-9s, they're gonna have Jack-10s, they're gonna have 2 overs with diamonds. Maybe if I'm to fold to a 70% bet here, it is my deuce X, because we do have 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, and 8s almost at pure weight. Is this the worst hand I show up to, though? This isn't even close to the worst hand. Are you barred from Paddy Power Games? No, I wouldn't say I'm barred, says Daniel. Just Finton's a prick. Relax. Relax. I don't think this is the worst hand I'm showing up with on the turn. I feel like we have so much more that folds. I think ace, like, they just have so much that's going to continue betting here. Maybe just because all of those hands that are going to continue betting have so much equity, and we are going to see a lot of river shoves. I wouldn't be surprised if we fold this hand sometimes. I wouldn't be surprised if we fold this hand sometimes, but I'm going to call. We're going to fold this river card. A lot of their bluffs get there. Their 9-10s are going to shove for value. Their Jack-10s are going to shove for value. Their ace-10s, king-10s, queen-10s that all have flush draws on the flop are all going to shove this river for value. We have 8x, we have 7x, we have boats, we have better 2 pairs, we have 10x, like we have 9-10 and stuff here. Gets around the river, so we'll just fold. It's good. I wouldn't be surprised if we see ourselves folding the turn here sometimes. Ooh, never folding the turn. Oh, we are calling the all-in. That is so gangster. I guess it's just because the diamonds don't get there that we're calling the all-in. 67% of the time, we're calling the all-in. Oh my god. Okay, so we are correct that we're never actually folding the turn with ace 2. It's way too strong in our range. So we can start from the flop here. So as we can see, DTO, like the bot here is going to be betting 35% of the time, which when you're playing cutoff versus button is a lot. Like, there's a lot of checking going on from the cutoff to the button. So 8-7-2, kind of got to remember this. 3 low cards, connectivity, 2-tone. It's going to favor the cutoff's range a lot because they have all of this and we don't in the button. So this is actually a board that is better for the cutoff's range than the buttons, believe it or not. So that's why we see a lot of big betting. We see a lot of big betting from the overpairs that need protection. We see a lot of big betting from the hands that have a lot of equity. Of course, we have your 8x. Your 7x is primarily checking, especially when they've got like backdoor suits and stuff. If they've got like spades. Oh, actually, spades are betting more. I'm surprised. I'd usually think you don't want to bet your spades as much because bet folding them. Well, I guess maybe it just doesn't bet fold like your 10-7s and stuff. Because you've also got 3D straight. Cool. Interesting. So they bet, and the button is calling with most of our range. Hey, Brazilian Donk, good to see you. We're calling with most of our range here. As you can see, our 2 over cards with the backdoor flush draw, or 2 over cards with the flush draw, never folding here. While I play the Irish Open, I'm going to try to, Daniel T. I'm going to play a lot of satellites for it. Because Paddy Power are going to be running satellites, so I'm going to do my best to qualify. I'm going to be down at the City North in Dublin on the 19th of February for the Irish Poker Tour stop. I actually bubbled the satellite last night. There was 5 tickets, 5 €150 tickets, and I came 6th, which was heartbreaking. So all of our 2 overs with backdoor flushes aren't folding. Obviously our pairs are never folding. There's just no raising going on with any of these hands because we just do not have the advantage on this board. Do we have any raises at all? 7s are raising. 7-8's raising only a 5th of the time. Like we just don't have raises here. It's just calling 2% of the time we're raising, and it's with 9s. Jack-10 suited. DT doesn't like to fold in position in the flop basically ever. Makes some gangsta floats. Yeah, for sure. I found myself doing that a lot yesterday as well after my video with Finton. Hi chat, hey Spooky. That's interesting. So when we get to the turn and the bot continues, the bot is so basically if you're in the cutoff here, you're just playing a big bet or check, 50-50. Half of your range is checking, half of your range is betting. I'm assuming the hands that bet are the hands that either pick up loads of equity, so your 7x, you've still got your top pairs, still got your over pairs. Interesting to see how aces are checking sometimes as well. Most of the time. Aces that block flush draws are checking, but that makes sense because you're blocking a lot of the continuation range from the button with aces if you have spades and diamonds, which makes a lot of sense to me. But if we don't look at aces anymore, we just look at what's betting. Do people find it easier? The bars? Or the pie charts? No, are you fucking kidding me? Thank you so much, Spooky, for the follow. I appreciate that. That's interesting. And what else is betting? So basically, it's just everything that still has a lot of equity. All the stuff in the middle of the board here that connects with this flop. That's cool. I like that. And then when we see the all-in, holding half the time, calling half the time. So it is ace-2 of spades primarily, ace-2 of clubs because you block the backdoor double barrels from the in-position player. I like the new follow sublets. I've actually had them for a while. We just don't really get to see them too often. Wow, so obviously we're never folding a 7. That goes without saying. Never folding our 7x here. We're just pure, almost pure calling our 8x. Especially Jack 8, 10 8 on this river card. Obviously 7 8 is never folding. 6 7 obviously never folding our 6x. 5s is calling. Oof, a lot of the time. Interesting. Ace 10, King 10, Jack 10. I did say we have those hands and we're never folding, which makes sense. We have Ace 10 off. Well, I guess diamonds are our hand, right? Without Ace 10, Ace of Hearts, 10 of Clubs gets to the river. Wow. I guess it's just because it's so strong compared to what the cutoff is barreling. Obviously, it's not really quite the same in my games because in my games, the cutoff is not. They're not even going to be close to opening this range of hands. I can almost guarantee the cutoff in my 550 no limit hold'ems or €20 PKOs and Paddy are not opening Queen 4 suited off 45 big blinds. They're not opening 8 5 suited. They're not opening 6 4 suited. They're not even opening 4 5 5 6 5 7. They're not opening King Deuce, King 3, King 4, King 5. Maybe not even King 6, Queen 4, King 5, King 6, King 7 suited. I just don't think so. I don't think they are. That's cool. We continue. Queen 9 3, interesting. It's like we have so much that's gonna rather bet here. A hand like Jack 5 with a backdoor would much rather bet this flop than I think Ace 7. We're gonna check. We're just gonna check fold. Ace 7. Bang! Excellent. No way they're opening even close to it? No. Like we just have from the cutoff, if you just remember our range, whoops. If you just remember our range here, from the cutoff, like we have so many hands that are going to interact with this board. Ace 7 off is like essentially the bottom of our range on this board. So we have King Jack here, cutoff versus button, 5 6 7. We do actually have the range advantage on. Maybe not when it's monotone. But I'm gonna check. In game, I would check this. I wouldn't be surprised if the bot bets. We can fold King Jack. So, okay, nice. Pure check with King Jack. But, so it is a pure check. Juan says he would bet small there. See, it's because you have so many hands that are gonna bet small here. Oh wow, it's actually just checking range. Never mind. We are just checking range on this on 5 6 7. I think it is just because I mean the button. I mean they do still have like 2 pairs and straights. I guess we don't actually have that much of a range advantage on this board. That's pretty cool. Good to know. Good to know. Cutoff versus button 10 6 3. I'm gonna start with a check, and I'm gonna call. Gonna check the turn. And I'm gonna fold. Bang. I'm gonna see. I feel like the button is probably supposed to be betting like maybe not range, but probably pretty close. But I'm gonna check back with bottom pair here. Okay, it's not a blunder. I'm going to check the turn as well. And I'm gonna check the river. Good. We only lost 1 point. And okay, so we do bet the flop mostly. I was correct that we are betting the flop. We're betting the flop a lot. So we're checking the flop just over half the time. And then we're betting small pretty much the rest of the time. Big bets, fuck the big bets. 7% of the time, don't need to think of it. Monotone board, 2 broadways high card. From the button. Betting small 30% of the time. And we're primarily betting small with top 2 sets. With flushes. And also the bottom of our range. But a lot of hands that continue with spades. And then for the most part, everything else is checking. King 7. King 7, top and bottom. Checking 80% of the time. 80% of the time. Very interesting. Good to know. Continue. What a flop. We are going to be betting small. What a turn. I think I'm continuing small. We have so much of the board locked up. There really isn't a river that's bad. If we bet geometrically, however, which would be 93%, we could shove river. That's my only thought here. We bet pot. We could shove river. We bet small. I don't think we get to do that. There are pros who can only get 60% DTO in some of these spots. Daniel T says check back. Interesting. Why would you check back here? Would anybody else check back here? I'm voting bet because of cut off C6 and check back other houses to protect the check back range. Interesting. I personally would bet 40% here. So we'll see. Bot doesn't hate it. If we're betting geometrically, we're now betting half pot again. Do we have to polarize here? Probably not. What are we trying to get the cutoff to continue with? Trying to get the cutoff to call with 9x. Trying to get the cutoff to call with 10x. And we're trying to get the cutoff to call with ace-x. Does that mean we can bet pot after going small, small? Do we have enough bluffs? We probably do. All in, says Daniel T. But are you going to then shove your queen jack on this river as well? Shove, says this McGregor. Alright, so you guys think shove. Small, small shove. Interesting line. Do you have enough to balance that, though? Big bet anyway. So you're saying definitely one of these two options, you guys think? I'm usually all in. Play check turn. Jam river. You have all the bluffs. Alright, let's shove. Excellent. Good job, team. So I was going to bet the 11% of the time. It is check back half the time, but probably not with the sand combination. But we'll have a look. So yeah, flop is what it is. We know we're betting. That's fine. Turn. Alright, so we are betting here on the turn. We're checking back half the time. So we are checking back half the time with top boat. So Daniel was correct. What about 10-9? 10-9's betting. Which makes sense. 9s is betting. Obviously we don't have 10s. What about the rest of our 10x? Betting big. King 10, Queen 10, Jack 10. King 10, Queen 10, Jack 10. And then we do have our Queen Jacks, our King Jacks, Jack 8s that are all going to bet big sometimes, especially if you've got the backdoor spades. which I agree with, and then the hands that we're betting with. We are betting the majority of the time with top boat, but there is some checking back. And it is just shoving the river. So what is actually shoving for us? Obviously our 10x is shoving, our 9s is shoving. It is using our king 4 of spades. It is using, yeah, our king 4s and king 5s. King 5. That's kind of crazy, my guy. King 5 of clubs, king 5 of hearts. King 5 of spades, I'm assuming is just giving up. Yeah. Queen 6. Queen 7. Queen 8 is where we find our bluffs. But that makes sense. Queen 8 more so than Queen 7, Queen 6. Wow, Queen Jack off just gives up. That makes sense. Interesting. Interesting. Don't know if I'm bluffing those hands. I mean, I'm not bluffing those hands. That's interesting. Ace 9-3 two-tone. I'm gonna check. Wouldn't be surprised if we also are supposed to bet this board sometimes. I'm gonna call. I do see some merit in raising here, but I would call this in game. I'd probably mix. Gonna check the turn. Our hand is way too strong to fold here for 40% pot. Gonna call. Excelente. So we are betting half the time, small half the time, checking half the time. That's kind of like what I thought. Like ace 9-3 two-tone, disconnected for the most part. We have more ace x, a lot more ace x than the button. They only have ace 3 suited and ace 9 suited here. I think they have ace 9 off most of the time. And they check raising on the flop. 0%. 0. I thought it might have been a mix, but we are not raising. We are raising 0.1% of the time with bottom set. 1/10 of the time you're raising, check raising bottom set here. Otherwise, you're just check calling. Interesting. That's cool. Continue. Let's see how many hands in we are. At 58 hands. So we did average is 51% here. But we did start this with a 61% GTO score. And position's always going to be easier as well, as you can see by the scores. Interesting. Cool. Queen 10. Call. 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 That's an easy one. Don't need to look at that one. Interesting. This was the kind of board. What was the pattern on this board? I'm gonna check, but I feel like this might be big bet check. Occasionally. Ooh, interesting. Let's check again. And let's check again. We need to turn our hand into a bluff. Okay, so it is big bet check, but it is only big betting 20% of the time, and that's coming from our 8x. It's coming from, wow, okay, well, that's 2 pair. Coming from 8x. It's coming from a lot of our 5x as well. Is actually 5x with backdoor suits is taking the larger sizing. 45 big blinds deep. That's 8x over pairs. Aces again checking. That's something that whenever we went over this, we went over roughly this same spot with spades in Turbo Kings, and the amount of checking the aces does is crazy in this position. Crazy, man. Crazy, man. Crazy. There is some check raising going on from aces. And then your bluffs come from like your 10-9s, your jack-9s with backdoors. Continue. 5, 6, 7, two-tone, 9, 10 of clubs. Do we have any betters in the chat? Did you buy DTO or get a freebie to promote it? So I did a YouTube video with Easy with Aces, gonna win. And we went over the 30 big blind spot from the button versus the big blind in a single raise pot. It was well enough received that DTO and Finton would like me to do another video with Finton in the next few weeks. So because of that, I have DTO now. These boards are tricky, says Daniel T. They are indeed very tricky. Do we have any betters? Personally, I'm checking 9-10 of clubs. Gonna win, says bet. And what do you bet? Do you bet small? Do you bet big? Complete mix, I'd say, says Dislike McGregor, between all three options. 32%. Because I would check here. I would check here because we have hands that have... Oh, I don't know, we do have the gut shot, but we have no backdoor flush draw. 2 overs and a gut shot feels awful to bet fold, in my opinion. If we bet here and we get raised, like, are we really calling 9-10 of clubs with 2 overs and a gut shot? Whereas if I had 9-10 of spades, I wouldn't mind check calling a check raise, or bet calling a check raise with 9-10 of spades, 9-10 of diamonds. I think 9-10 of clubs is going to check, but we do see some betting here from you guys. I'm going to check. We haven't got it wrong yet. We are going to... I would call here. I do see some merit in raising. I don't see any merit in shoving. I do see some merit in making it 7.3. It keeps them honest, so to speak. And stops from just piling chips in the river, but I'm going to call. And everything misses. We obviously make a straight. Ooh. What are we doing here, chat? Are we raising to 23 big blinds? Or are we all in? I don't think there's any other option. I think it's raise or shove. Shove, shove. I agree. I would also shove. Ooh. We're all wrong, baby. It is the raise to 23. And I was thinking this, when it gives that option, it's usually because this allows us to have some bluffs. And we are mixing half the time. Pure mix was correct from, I think it was McGregor. But I think it's because this gives us bluffs. Obviously our 10x. What's our king 10 doing? Calling? Was right on the bet. Yeah, we're mixing between small bet and checking. We had 10-9 of, so 10-9 of clubs. 10-9 suited. 10-9 suited is also mixing between check and bet. More betting with flush draws and backdoors. Slightly more checking without. But it is just mixing. Bluffing is jack off. When we unblock backdoor flush draws, yes. So as you can see, ace of clubs, jack of hearts, unblocking diamonds and spades for the out of position player. Otherwise, we're just giving up. Ace 10, obviously for value, is raising. So all of our 10x is raising for value. Where's our bluffs coming from? 5-7, I guess because our 2 pairs now worth absolute garbage and we now have effectively 7 high. We're just playing the board. So why 7-5 of hearts and not 7-5 of clubs? Any magic men who understand why we're doing it with hearts and not clubs? Because I do not know. 6-7 as well. 7-8. So basically all of our 2 pairs that are now worth absolute jack on the river are coming in with the raise. King 4 suited, I don't know what it is about Sims, but they get an absolute hard on for King 4 suited. Same with our ace 2 of clubs, because we're ace 2 of clubs and hearts, because we're unblocking the yeah, I'd bluff everything. Yeah, I mean we're unblocking like infinite with hands like this. Just unblock all of the bluffs with hands like ace 2 suited, king 4 suited, queen 7 suited. Your 2 pairs, and that just allows you to raise with most of your 10x. Juan dropping 5. You would have thought the DTO stream pulling in the gifties. Thanks, boys. I don't know why my oops, I don't know why my thingy isn't updating, my sub count, but thank you, boys. It's a sub party, it is. The Paris blocks some 10x opens. They do actually as well, just like McGregor. Very smart. Good idea. Good card removal or whatever it's called. Just go all in and minimize the table. True. Where am I going? Oh no, I've got the folder saved here. And if we go to total subscriber count, should update. Nice, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Juan just dropping 5, 36 total on the channel. I think Daniel was up to 8 total on the channel now as well. Yeah, I don't think shoving's the worst thing there. Even though the bot doesn't do it and the bot raises just because it gives you more bluffs. It is an inaccuracy, but I mean, the only option was raise there. Like, we were correct, it's one of these two. And I mean, in-game, fucking just shove. Or don't. Leave the bot. Whoo! What do you guys think we're doing here? Ace 4-2. So, look at the ranges. Look at the ranges. The button has none of the suited or the offsuit ace X. They do have ace 2, ace 3. Almost a pure weight. Ace 4, ace 5, they're 3 betting half the time. Some ace 6, ace 7 suited. What are we doing here? Oh wait, whoops. Need to make this so I can see the chat. Fold you can't. Don't get all these stupid calculations, it's always 50-50, you win or you lose. Taru. Check call, I'd say, says Juan. Do we have any other checkers? Do we have any betters? Because I'm not gonna lie, I probably mix this spot in game. Never big bet? I agree. I either check or I bet small here. I'm gonna go with check. Chat seems to say check. Check. We turn top 2. Any checkers? Any small betters, big betters, or over betters? Overbet? Says it's like McGregor. Overbet says 1. I agree. I would also bet 75, or I would overbet here. Woo! It's gonna be 75. It's gonna be checked twice. The bot is a gangster. Alright, let's go again. The bot is a gangster with the double check. Now we raise. Surely. Nah, do we call? Are we calling and check jamming river? Alright, so we get to the spot. We're on try number 2, chat. We're on try number 2. Are we calling? Are we raising? Are we shoving? But we're not folding. What do we think? Hit them with a double check raise. Bang. Excelente. We are raising. So, 74% of the time we're check calling. Oh my lord. Or, don't have ace 2. So what the fuck is happening on the flop? We're betting so little. We're betting so little. It's almost a pure check on this board, 90% of the time. I thought it would have been like closer to a mix. Interesting. The turn is what I really... My god, almost checking pure again. Betting. Guess you're just hoping the button blasts off. Yeah, I guess. So you're now betting your top set. You're now betting... Checking... Oh no, you're overbetting your 8s. You're overbetting your 8s. For some reason. Guess it needs a lot... Oh, you turned to set, that's why. I see. Overbetting your 4s, overbetting your 2s. Well, what else are you overbetting? ace king. Cool. Cool. King 6 suited on the button. Now we gotta remember that this is close to the bottom of our range in the button. But we are gonna check back on this board. Generally, I know out of position you want to start bluffing when you pick up equity and you don't have showdown value. I know that's a pretty good rule. As a rule, for in position, I don't know. I'm gonna be a bitch, not gonna check, but I don't know. Bet. I'm gonna check. Fuck. It is 100%. We're also betting the flop. Near pure. That's cool. I like the way I said it's probably a bet, but I'm gonna be a bitch and I check, and I'm a bitch and I check. Bottom two. I'm gonna call. Would anyone raise here with bottom two? Ace, queen, 7, cutoff versus button, 45 big blinds effective. I would call with bottom 2 here. On ace, queen, 7, rainbow. Ooh, now we hit interesting territory. We can't raise this turn, I don't think. Good, 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 good. So we are correct. It's pure check call. We are check raising the turn sometimes. Sheesh. I guess it's because he blocks. And obviously check back river. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Continue. Where are we at? Where are we at? 64 hands. Doing okay. We're doing okay. Cutoff versus button. 9-7-3. So, in my mind, our hand is a good hand. But our hand is vulnerable. So, I think we're going to bet. Do we have any small betters? Do we have any big betters? Do we have any checkers? How often do you think we're betting this board? If we're betting this board often, we're going to be betting smaller. If we're betting this board not often, we're going to be betting bigger. Hand like king 9 with no backdoor suits. No backdoor straight draw. Overcard to the board. What do we think we're betting here? Small bet, says Juan. I don't hate it. I'd probably small bet too. Excellent. So, my issue with a big bet here, which is why it doesn't happen, is when we bet big, we're really just, like, putting ourselves in the bin, essentially. Because all of the hands that are calling have a lot of equity against us. Our hand can't really improve too much. So there's not going to be much big betting at all. And there wasn't any. Okay, cool. This is an interesting spot. Right. So, 4-5 suited. Bottom of the range. We flop a gut shot and a backdoor flush draw. Are we betting? Are we checking? What do you think, ladies and gents? Do you think it's similar to the last board? Of the 9-7-4, whatever it was, two-tone? I'd say it's pretty similar. I'm going to go with small bet. Probably checking, calling. So yeah, we're in the button. I'm going to bet small. I wouldn't be surprised if we check sometimes, though. Yeah, check 70% of the time. I think that's the thing. I thought we were betting sometimes. 5-4 suited. So yeah, we are checking more. The reason why we're checking more with 5-4 with diamonds and betting more with spades is that if we get check raised here with a gut shot and a backdoor flush draw, we hate to fold it. We hate to fold it. Which makes sense. Hey, Hardy J. What's up, bro? Alright, fives. Do we have any razors in the chat on 7-7-4 when the cutoff C bets with pocket fives? Anyone making it 13.6? Go all in, says one. I'm not going to go all in. I'm going to call. Now we're really getting into it. We have quite a lot of 7x. But we have essentially no 4x. Whereas they have a bunch of 7s. They have a bunch of 4s. Allows them to bet more. 5s, too strong. And now we're getting a big price to call. What is the worst hands we get here with pocket 5s? Or sure, what are the worst hands we get here with? We don't get here with 2s or 3s. We don't get here with King 5. We don't get here with King 6. We don't get here. I mean, maybe we do. Maybe the bot does. I don't. Is this too strong to fold? Do we prefer to call 5s than Ace X? Yes. Which means we have 5-4, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, and 9s. 7s are quads, 4s are quads. We do have some trips here. We do have a pretty reasonable chunk of 7x though. It does make up a pretty large part of our range. I think the price is too good. I think the price is too good. We're going to be a calling station. Booyah! So yeah, mixing the river between calling and folding. What's folding? All of our garbage, especially the ones that block their bluffs, like their 8x, 9x. Our 2 overs are all folding. We're calling with... So 5s itself is actually a pure mix, which is why I was kind of tough on 5s. Because to me, it's the worst of the best, if that makes sense. Obviously, we're never folding our 7x. We're never folding our 4x. We're not folding Ace 3. Ace 7. Ace 10, obviously. Counterfeits. 5s, 6s, and 9s. We have a 10 in our hand versus the button cutoff versus the cutoff. King 10, Queen 10, all calling. Ace Jack. Making a lot of calls. Yeah, 5s. Close. And I was right. I was thinking it's gonna be a fold or a call with 5s. But we are excellent. I think this is for 5 in a row. 10, 7, 2, 2-tone. Check. I think we're calling here. It's kind of tricky without the diamond in our hand. But I'm going to call. Does anybody lead this turn? Any leads? Any leaders? Follow the leader, follow the leader. All in to tilt him. I'm going to check. But there actually might be some leading here. And now I'm going to fold. Please don't be wrong. Sheesh. Pretty big strategy. There is some big betting on the flop. The big bets are coming from our 10x. Our hands that are like wrapped around the 10 with backdoor flush draws and flush draws. Even like clubs and hearts are doing this because I guess we have the overcard and a gut shot. Ace 2. And 7. So 2 pairs. Over pairs. Interesting. Good to know. How many people are betting this board cutoff versus button? King 7-4. Rainbow. I am. In game. Should I be? Probably not. Who else is betting this board in game? Is that a 100% fold on turn bet? Is that a 100%? Oh, I didn't actually look. I think so. With that hand anyway. I would be betting here so often. Probably shouldn't be though. Gonna check in game. Or check in bot. Ooh. Interesting turn card. Who's checking? Who's betting? I'm probably betting, and I'm probably betting 75%. Fuck. Again, check. It does so much checking. Let's see, it does so much checking on the flop. It does so much checking on the turn. I knew it. 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 It loves it. It loves the checks. Is it a check raise? No, it's just a pure check call. Let's go again. I want to see the line. Check. Check. Call. I guess we have showdown value, so we don't need to turn our hand into a bluff. Yeah. Is there any? No, it's just. It is just. Wow. Cool. What bets the turn? Hands that pick up equity but are kind of shitty, so like ace 2 or 2 pairs, king X that checks the flop, over pairs that bet the flop. Eights with a club is betting. All of our pairs with clubs are betting. Sounds like 6-4 betting. But still not much. Interesting. I'm gonna. Ooh, Bit small here, pros. I think so too. Maybe it's a. It's never a big bet here, is it? But their range, we can fold out so much. Look at a bet. Fuck. It is a check. You can. It's a check. I know it's a check. I knew that was a check. I fell for the trap of wanting to bet. Check fold seems good. Inaccuracies, not the worst. We are yet to have a blunder today. That's good. Check. Fold. These boards, tricky. Check. Check. We could block turn, maybe. I'll be interested to see if they block. I'm gonna block river. Sometimes. Is it king X? No, it is. It is ace X with pairs. King X. Mainly our pairs. Mainly our pairs. There is some overbetting with like top 2. Good to know. River. Woo, we're checking. Well, that makes sense. Check. Just check. Check. Call maybe. Let's see what river. Let's see what the river action is. We're just checking. We're just checking. We're just checking. Oh, and they just check back with ace 10. Cool. Check back 8s. Check back 8s. Do you have a sub for DTO? This is the super high roller tier, honey JJ. I'll have you know. Fuck. Okay, nice. Woo! Played 25 hands today. It's taken us like an hour and a half. We have the super high roller tier. Got it for free from our YouTube content with Finton, because Finton and I plan on making more DTO content in the near future for YouTube. But super high roller, I think, is £100 a month, $100 a month. Just gives you like everything. Grinder tier, high roller. I'd say super high roller, super high roller, grinder. Yes, this is just like you just get everything with super high roller tier. What were you playing? 45 big blind, single raise pot, cut off on button. We're at 68% GTO. This is not bad, considering average is 50. Average is 50, 57.45. We're pulling up. Out of position is tough. Cut off versus button. It is. Ooh, any betters on ace king king with ace 10? Ace 10, no spades, no diamonds. Any betters? Any betters or any checkers? Check. Check. Cool. The 10 blocks jack 10. What are their bluffs? I feel like it's very hard for them to be bluffing on this run out. They probably turn like fours, fives into a bluff here. Like fours, fives, sixes maybe. Everything else is value. What do I show up with that's better? How do I arrive at this river with a better hand? I have flushes. I have pocket threes. I have pocket queen. I don't have queens. I don't have ace king. I don't have ace queen. I do have ace queen off. Ooh, I feel like this might have to be a call. I feel like this might be a call. Just because if you look at our range, we block jack 10. It's one of our best aces, which doesn't really matter. We do have flushes. We do have threes. How much king X checks the flop for us? How much kings do we have? Just don't think we're checking the flop with really any of our king X at all. I'm gonna call. He has the flush, but we make the right call. I think we're too high up in our range. So we are checking and we're betting big. That's what I said. With our kings, we do have king 8. Checking sometimes to protect our trips. But it's not often. On the turn, we're going to fold sometimes. We're never folding ace 10 on the turn, are we? What? Ace 10 is folding 60% of the time. What the fuck's calling? King X. I know. Calling most of the time. Wait, what? Oh, sorry, ace 10 off. We have ace of clubs, 10 of hearts. 70% of the time is calling. Okay, that's fine. What's folding? Ace of clubs, 10 of spades. Ace of diamonds, 10 of spades are folding. They're folding with a spade. Wow. I guess because you're blocking the majority of their bluffs. Cool. Gonna bet. Gonna call. Gonna check. Blech. Who's bluffing? We have to bluff. So what are you? What's our sizing? Half pot or all in, chat? Half pot or all in. We need to fold out ace X, so we gotta shove, right? All in. Yeah, I think so too. Bang. Put him on the ropes. Are we? Surely we're not giving up. Okay, yes, we're not giving up. Where is... Aha, the turn bet. I want to retry with the turn bet and just see what the crack is. So it's a mix on the flop, but I think 10-5 is probably a good bet. When he checks, we bet... We block the turn, essentially. Does that mean he checks and we check back? Ah. Bottom of our range, probably betting, because it doesn't mind bet folding on the turn. Yeah, cool. Cool. Alright, ace 10, ace 10, ace 10. Calling. Folding? Even to that sizing? Interesting. I guess when we have the ace of diamonds, it's probably the worst. What's calling? Oh, ace 10 is just pure folding. Okay, cool. I felt like it was too strong, but I was wrong. Check. I'm gonna fold on 8-5-4. This could be wrong. Never mind. Excellent. Beautiful. I'm gonna check. I guess we're just betting geometrically. We're fucking checking, aren't we? Yeah, only raising some of the time, and then we're checking. Shame that we got that inaccuracy. Check back. Check back. Holding. Gangsters? Any gangsters? Betting the turn? Interesting. Two over cards, and a backdoor flush draw. Check. Probably want to start betting now. Pretty good river. How big do we get to bet, though? The fact it's giving us a 90, a 200, and a 327% sizing is kind of scary. There's no way we shove. There's no way we shove. I would never. I would like. I'm gonna bet what I would bet in game. Okay, nice. We were okay. I picked the right sizing. This is what I would bet. I would bet close to pot in game, but but we do also need to size up the turn. That's what I would bet in game. They need a diamond specifically betting big. Otherwise, 10-8 can bet small sometimes, but it's checking it. Rarely checking. It is primarily betting. Yeah, not bad, not bad, not bad. How close are we to 100 hands? 20 more hands. We can get there. Had a couple of inaccuracies, but we can get there. Up to 68%. 95% in the flop. In position. Pretty good. Turn, we seem to be struggling the most on the turn, but that makes sense. Ooh, top two. Top two. I don't see much big betting here. All three are fine. There is some big betting. And it's coming from tiny bit of king 9, tiny bit of jack 9. It's not happening at all though. It's check or bet. Let's just check with fuck all, bet with some Gucci shit. Hola, hello Raj. Kings. Gonna check. I'm just gonna call. No! Our first blunder! Blunder! It's just a pure check raise unless we bet big, which is with kings, which does make sense. Yeah, does make sense. Does make sense. Get out of my sight, blunder. Call. They bet the flop and then they check. We do not want to bet fold king jack of spades here. Checking seems so. There's so much more in my range that's going to continue betting here. I think king jack of spades is going to be a fine check back. We have showdown. Nice. Yeah. Cool. Easy as you like. Easy as you like. Check back with a spade in our hand seems reasonable. Check back. We have showdown. It's probably one of the best hands I have here when we go check. Oh, nice. Yeah, folding. Yeah, just calling like most of the time. It's one of the best hands. It's almost as if I'm showing everyone how much I punt in game. I like call versus DTO here. Oh yeah, like the king jack's way too. I would probably call the king jack in game, to be honest. It's way too high in our range. But people also at my games aren't blocking that river, so Ooh. I feel like betting with the spade is pretty nice. And then I want to see if it's checking, without, bet. Is it checking without the spade? Yes. Checking without the spade, betting with the spade. Big brain pred. Yeah, cool, nice. I'd call the king jack to a block versus a player, to be fair. I don't know. It's our worst ace. This is the worst ace we have. Check twice though. You can change colors down the bottom right corner to more contrasting. Oh, can you? We'll do that. We'll do that after this then. I have no idea. What are you guys doing here? Check, bet, big bet, over bet. I'm not over betting personally on this board texture with these two hearts. Needs to be way stronger or like a crazy combo draw. Checks this one. Any thoughts, McGregor? Fuck it. Can't. Haha, if the bot folds here after we go check check. Ah! It does. Also, yeah, I expect that to be a bet all the time. Wow. Okay, it's not. Oh my god, it is just folding the ace sometimes. I mean, it's so hard for them to bluff for that sizing. So how do I change the color sizings? This? Nope, that's download. How did I change the colors, McGregor? I would probably bet, but could be a double check back. Yeah, it was a double check back. You can bet flop though, which makes sense to me. It's the kind of board texture that's pretty good. To the right of download. Oh, in classic? Is that it? Whereas DTO makes it like this. Whereas classic is this? Is that what you meant? Yeah. I actually quite like it being like this. What did I do here? Oh, this way is way better. I guess I could do it like this. I honestly think I quite like it, like the GTO way. Can't remember what Fenton does. So ace king check. Feels like another one of those spots that it checks a lot. Definitely not overbet. Definitely not overbet on the turn. Yeah, it's bet small or check. Ace king is checking sometimes, but it is primarily betting. But we just have so many double checks. Still uncapped on turn. Well, that's why you'd rather we're uncapped, but so are they. Whereas I think we'd rather overbet when they have a capped range. So 10-8 betting, that makes sense. Second pair, an open ender. Two pairs. That's 10x with gut shots and stuff. And wait, what else? What kind of king x was betting here? King x that interacts with the board. And king queen don't mind checking sometimes. Cool. Check. Oh well, yeah. In practice they're capped for sure. Just gonna bet geometrically, I guess. No! We're giving up. We're giving up. Oh my god, just the casual overbet with the 9-6 of clubs. I think it's just because we don't mind bet folding 9-6 of clubs here, which is why I went for the larger sizing. What positions will have a capped range? Big blind, small. So every position can have a capped range. So like on a board like 4, 5, 6, under the gun isn't gonna have 7, 8. Whereas the big blind, button, or whatever will. So their range would be capped on that sense. Like they have sets, but they don't have the nuts. So say 40 big blinds effective, even here, like for example, if the flop here came Queen, Jack 10, the button does not have Ace King. Full stop. So their range is capped in the sense that they cannot have the nuts, and we can. Check. I'm gonna check again. We don't really need to turn our hand into a bluff. We're not gonna get value from worse. Here we just get to bet for value. Yeah, we are betting the flop. So 9-8-6 is betting more than it's checking. Block? Nah, I don't think we block the ace. We just have to push our range advantage on the river. Because they have such little ace X. Like, our ace 10 is better than all of their ace. Like, we have like the best ace here. With ace 10. Because if you look at the button, well, sorry, they do actually have ace queen, ace jack, ace 10, ace 9. My bad. Ignore what I just said. But they don't have them at pure weight. They pretty much only have ace queen here. And that's like not even pure weight, but it essentially is. They're stripped of so much of their ace X here, here, and here. We just get to like bluff it and bet it big so often. So we're primarily betting. I think it's just because we have so many hands that interact with this board, but then our king queen suiteds with backdoor, all of our king queens, like most of our ace jacks that just have backdoors, offsuit stuff is the stuff that doesn't mind checking, but like ace 10 betting half the time. I guess it's because the 10 interacts with the board pretty well. We do have the gut shot. Using super high roller or just high roller? Super high roller, I think. Yeah, super high roller. Weasel. Choose your spot. What have we been doing? Cut off button. 45 big blinds. 69% GTO? Nice. That's not bad. For a tough spot. Average is 51% here. We're pulling it back. Out of position is sinking a little. In position, we're starting to crush though. Out of position's tough. It's 69%. 10 more hands for 100 hands. Who's crushing this spot on the leaderboard? So some random user, Cleo God, some random user, Negrodamus. I don't know any of these names. Oh, the illegit. That's a girl, right? She used to stream. The illegist. Martin Alt Martin, I'd say. Oh yeah, there's Martin Altman. 12th. Harley Love. He crushes every DTO leaderboard. Do we know who he is? Is he like a... the poker player? He's a Czech pro. And is he also good in game? Poker pro and Sparta Prague fan from the Czech Republic. Adabot, Turbo Kings, and 3 others follow him. To know his screen name? Maybe he keeps his screen name hidden. Oh, no, he doesn't. He is just Martin Altman on stars. So, let's see if his shark scope's unblocked. See if he's got any fat dubs. Martin Altman. Got a little gold star. Wait, what? That's not him. Is it? Oh. Oh, this obviously, like, isn't him. I guess. Maybe reset his statistics? for the year. I guess so. So 10 more hands. And we're almost up there. On the leaderboard. Doing our best. I plan to do at least 100 hands a day. We're gonna bet. I don't know if there's some big betting there. Check. Ooh, good river. Do I have enough bluffs to overbet or like shove? Oh, shoving would be nasty. I don't think so though. I think I just bet pot. I bet pot in game, so I bet pot here. Good. It does do the overbet. It does like the overbet. It is mixing the check. It is of course checking the turn, but it really does. It just loves it with the 10x. Queen 10, less so. It's the least. Queen 10, King 10, Ace 10. But it loves it with the 10, 7, 10, 8, 9, 10, Jack 10, Queen 10. Probably just because it means that they can have, like, King, Queen and shit that might hero for the crack. I don't know. Cool. Check calling with overcard. Backdoor flush draw. You can have tons of bluffs in position IMO. Tougher to find bluffs out of position? Yeah, for sure. So we still have the overcard. We pick up a gut shot. But we now block a pretty reasonable chunk of their suited range that's going to be continuing here with the Ace of Diamonds in our hand. So that makes this interesting. They can still have King 4, King 5, King 6, King 7. That's where like they're both King 4's there. So they can really have King 5, King 6 of diamonds is where their continuations are going to come from here. They can have Queen X of diamonds. I think we can just be so dead. But it's such a great price. But we have the Ace of diamonds. I really don't like calling with the Ace of diamonds here. We pick up equity on the turn. I'm going to fold. I don't know. I'm going to fold. Okay, cool. Nice. So, is... Ooh, gangster. Raising the flop. With what? Our overpairs. Our ace queen. Sometimes king queen off. Our ace queen off. Bottom set. Pure. 6-4 because bottom of our range. Gnarly like that. 6-4. 6-4 even without the backdoors half the time. What was it I wanted to look at though? I wanted to look at my my calling range here. Ace 10 offsuit. Ace 10 off. Oh, it's all folding. Doesn't matter if we have the diamond or not. It's all folding. Can you check raise flop? Yes. With Ace 10 off? Also yes, with the Ace of Diamonds. Which makes sense. Yeah, Ace of Diamonds would be the check raise on the flop. And having the 10 is obviously a nice card to have as well. Sometimes with the 10 of Diamonds too. Basically you need a diamond, preferably the Ace of Diamonds. What's the exact combo? I prefer it. Yeah, the best combo is Diamonds, 10 of Spades. But that makes sense because 10 of Spades blocks backdoor floats. Ace of Diamonds blocks flushes. Obviously you can barrel a diamond and shove rivers and stuff. And then you can also just get 4 card flushes. Cool. Showdown, 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 showdown. Does it block river? Oh, it actually bets for value. Sheesh. Big bet for value. Cool. I was thinking that when they checked, I was like, fuck it, try and get a call from like 9 high, 10 high. I don't know. It's gonna call me a bitch. Oh, it's not. Nice. We are betting 10% of the time. So we're betting 30% of the time. Queen X, cents, 5x, and then like our suited combinations. But all of our offsuit stuff, just spin it. Check. Check. Value tone? Overbet for value? I'm just gonna bet 75%. Fuck! Small. It's the only sizing. Small. I think it just allows us to bet. Yeah, it just allows us to bet like all of our fours, all of our threes. Sevens are betting big. And then like the random shit that misses. The ace X. Too thin to bet big with tens there. Can't believe it. I can't even believe it. Big. Nice! One of the very few big bets from in position. And we found it. Woo! Let's go, baby. It's the double Broadway two-tone. Button loves betting big. We have a really nice combo as well with King Queen of Diamonds. How close are we? 96 hands. Woo! Up to 70%. Sheesh. Button versus cutoff. We are going to check. Anyone turning Jack 10 into a bluff in position here? We pick up equity. Cutoff's checked twice. The cutoff is also going to check some Queen X here, I think, probably. But are we betting twice? Trying to fold out. We are betting, says Dislike McGregor. What are you betting? What sizing? 40, 85, 134, if you're betting. Because what I'm thinking here is, what are we achieving by this bet? What are we going to fold out? We're not going to fold out King Jack. We're not going to fold out King 10. I think 40. I think 40 if we bet. I honestly don't know if we bet, though. The value bet Queen X in the size? True. Maybe that does make Jack 10 a better combo. I'll go with you. I'll follow it. It is a check. Check or the overbet. It is the overbet. It is check or the overbet. Wow. It's not 40. Sorry? No. I probably would have checked or bet 40. I would not have found the almost pure overbet. But that's the issue with being 45 big blinds deep. Don't know if we bet. Ah, what? What? Hello? Well, first of all, we do have this line. We just shove. Yeah. But then we also have this line. Oh, wait, no, sorry, not check. What did we do? Oh, no, we did do this. No, wait. What did we do the first time round? I don't fucking know. I can't remember. What did we do? What did we do the first time? Did we bet small? No, we check raised. I don't fucking know. Doesn't matter. Check. Doesn't feel like the double check to me. Fuck, is it actually? No, it's the overbet. It's the overbet again. On. Melly. Guess it's just so high up in our range. We're getting inaccuracies. Out of position's so tough. We should probably lock ourselves into playing cutoff spots here. Is it actually a check fold? We're punting, chat. We're punting. Is it just a pure check as well? Yeah. We're punting. We're punting. We've hit 100 hands. We just dropped like 3% though. And then it's just the block. All bets are fine. Whew, okay. I think we take a breather. Oh, after we play this quad hand. Playing position by position is better. Easy to notice heuristics. Yeah. Check. Quads. Bet quads. Bet quads. No, it was the big bet. I've seen too much of this fucking... Too much of this shit. Alright. That was a fun stream. I might come on and play some tournaments later this evening as well. Couple of hours of DTO. Lots learnt. Lots learnt. Juan, thank you for the 5 gifted. Daniel, thank you for the 5 gifted. And a gifted Dislike McGregor. Spooky, thanks for the follow. Everyone who stopped by, if anyone has not hit the follow button, I would appreciate it. That would be cool of you. My brain, a little bit bigger than it was earlier. Main takeaways. A ton of checking from the cutoff. Just a lot of checking, really. All of the checks. Let's find someone to raid. Who is in the category today? This morning. 18 viewers playing DTO. Not too bad. Can't complain. Could give it to Robin. Or Lucas. Yeah, let's do it. It's been a while since we've seen the big man. Alright, thank you everybody who stopped by. Any follows would be appreciated. DTO was good crack. Definitely learnt some. Who knows, we might do like a double study stream today. Come back on and replay the same spots and see if we can do better than we did this morning. But